Jaguars, though, man. These boys, man, we're all excited about it. Jags camp, a lot of takeaway from that. What do we got, Codes?
Yeah, so we're gonna break this down into segments. Let's go with talk a little bit about Walker Little, the tackle. He's been dominating on 1-and-1 drills with Big
Love hearing
Cam.
that.
Obviously Big Cam's gonna be out for 4 games for the PEDs, and he's actually a
Vitamins.
guy that you know vitamins. And we talked about this. Josh Allen, he kind of had Josh Allen's lunch. Or Josh Allen had his lunch during the mini camp, but he seemed to be putting in the work and he's really shining. So he won battles against Josh Allen, Chason, and Smith, and it seems to be absolutely dominating in all aspects of run blocking and pass blocking. He's also put on quite a bit of size and strength from this last year. So I think I think it's year 3 for him. I think it's a guy that's going to be a starter for you finally, and a hit on the draft pick, which is big.
And look, with the Jags let Jawan Taylor walk, which was a big thing. The Jags are pretty upset about that. Maybe they felt, look, the guys that were coming in, the draft, what was available, they felt that, look, there's no need to spend that kind of money on a guy because we know what we have. But it's great to hear that Walker Little is stepping up, especially with Cam coming out, because when he does come back after 4 games, that's just going to be even better. We do have a little bit of a downfall on other areas, but love that the line's doing well. I think that was a huge question mark going into the season. Again, that was a big focus for the draft as well. We thought we were going to get more linemen early on in the draft. Didn't go as I think the fans planned it. I think we've all kind of settled in now. We're happy with it. Bigsby's been doing very well. Britton Strange, tight end's been doing well. Vince Trell's been having some good plays. So these are some pickups that have been doing well. Cornerback play, we're going to talk about that as well too. So look, the Jaguars are moving in the right direction, essentially what's going on. But love hearing about Walker Little. What else we got, Big Dog?
Yeah, for sure. Next up, we got the wide receiver room, and the wide receiver room that has been clicking on all cylinders for mini camp and training camp. We've said it week after week that this offense is just, humming. Well, they kind of had a rough week this week. Multiple drops by Ridley. Lawrence and Ridley, kind of the timing seems to be off a little bit. Obviously, we do know about Calvin Ridley having the toe injury. Could that be it? Everybody's saying his burst is fine and his routes are fine, but the timing is off, and he had a bunch of drops. The whole wide receiver room, I think, had like 12 drops this week, which is a lot.
Yeah,
And
and
it's kind of concerning.
look, obviously things have been going really well for those guys, and Calvin really I assume it's turf toe. We don't have, I don't think, the actual injury.
And that's the thing; it hurts.
It's, bro. So I remember obviously playing as fantasy football. You learn about injuries that you really don't come across too often. But I remember Julio Jones dealt with a turf toe back in like 2012 or 13, and I was like, bro, what's up, dude? But it's kind of like gout when it builds up in your foot. I've got a couple older guys that work. I've never had it. My dad's had a couple older guys get it at work, and the way they describe it, it's basically like you're just stepping on needles. And I imagine that turf toe is somewhat equivalent to that. So it's definitely nothing to joke around with. And look, I think that's got to have a little bit of a factor to these guys, being on the way down. But I'm not concerned about the wide receiver room at all. That's probably the one room that I'm very excited about. Seeing the clips from these guys, seeing the clips of Calvin really just run his routes, just his explosiveness. Evan Ingram's been doing very well. Obviously, just signed his big contract. So I'm not too worried about it. I still need to get to a practice so Cody doesn't get mad at me. But